Hi Capricorn, welcome to your reading for the month of October. It just hit me that we're almost in your season, which feels unbelievable. But welcome. My name is Wendy and I'm very happy to have you here. I'm with my apprentice Salem. He's going to help us read the cards today. So we're going to do a general reading. We're going to look at the main theme of the month, your greatest strength, your greatest weakness, or potential obstacle, and then we'll look at career and money and love. Information for personal readings is in the description box. Okay, Capricorn, it is warm today. It's the 5th of October, and where I live, it should be about 15 degrees. It is 28 degrees Celsius. It's strange, but here we are, getting in the spirit. Capricorn, what is the main theme for you in the month of October? Okay. Interesting. We've got, this one is face up, there's another one face down, and it's a mystery. So there's something about mystery. It's like the other half, the recipient. Where are you giving your energy? Where are you giving your resources this month? The theme is going to be rebalancing, balancing your budget, conserving your energy, starting to say no to someone that you used to enable all the time. Finances seem to be the focus. And primarily paying off bills, paying off debt. Maybe you pay off your mortgage. Congratulations, whatever this is. It feels really empowering. Finances back in balance. But there is an energetic implication to this too, where you only have so much to give, right? And so we talk about budgeting money. We talk about budgeting our personal energy. You only have so much to give. And how are you going to allocate that? What are you saving for yourself? You know, it's like, I heard lifestyle creeps. I don't know if someone out there has been sort of like, the more money you make, the more you spend. So, but it feels like there's a slowing down to that. You're living differently and you really want to balance things out and start conserving more for the self. Now this mystery card, oh, the 6 of Cups. Okay. The past. So there is a person from the past who could be showing up this month. Somebody you're familiar with. This could also just be you, connecting with the past self, who you were as a child. This time of year, for me, tends to bring up a lot of that nostalgia because, it is my birthday season, but also with Halloween, you think about this necklace was my mother's in the 80s and 90s, and then she wanted to get rid of it, so I kept it because it reminded me of my childhood. There's just a lot of this nostalgia when you think about Samhain, Halloween, and the connection to our ancestors, our connection to the past, to those who lived before us and what they set up and how they contributed and what they built or what they destroyed. And the karmic repercussions of those relationships. So there's a lot of emphasis on relationships, the past, who you were as a child, but also who other people were when you were a child and like how they affected you. It's kind of looking differently too at how much you're able to give, because it feels like we talked about the rebalancing of finances. Maybe you've got more money that you're saving up, but you still have a very giving spirit, and it's not about giving money to people or buying them things. Maybe you're making things, or you're, picking something from the garden. Like, what can you use that costs the least but says the most? There's this gesture from a very sweet place of good intention and wanting to share that with someone else. I think a lot of you generally, just not even as a child, just maybe as a teenager, a younger adult, maybe who you were last month, like, who was I in the past? And, why did I make these choices? Why did I give myself this way? Or why did I pay for that? Or whatever it was, there's a huge karmic cycle that is ending this month, and you're doing things differently. You're bringing the power back. You realize, like, this is very one-sided, or this person only shows up when they want something. And I think you're at a point where you can kind of observe the patterns of this relationship and observing the part of you that continues to also take part in this exchange, right? It's not just them. You are also part of this. And it's like, okay, where have I enabled someone? So there's quite a lot of maturity in this reading. And you may be tempted. There might be someone who comes up from the past. And you have to decide, is this worth cracking my life open to fit them in? Like, how can I, like, if it's worth keeping, you're evaluating, what can I give, or what have I already given? What have they given to me, right? There needs to be give and take. So really the main theme this month is balance. It's equality, it's give and take. Now in life, in the world, life is not perfectly balanced. It's never going to be that way. It's never going to be like you give equal to what you get, or you get equal to what you've given. But over time, things should feel relatively fair. And so if they don't, then there's a real issue, and something does really need to be done differently. But I think in a more positive way, yeah, some of you are just feeling more empowered financially, and you are able to maybe take care of someone the way that you want to, treat your partner to a nice date, or get your child something that they've been, begging for because all the kids at school have it. Something about that. It's a tricky one. It's like, what am I getting into? What am I giving myself to when I pay for this, or when I say yes, or when it feels like a drop in the bucket, but it's got big implications. So what is blocking you? What is the obstacle this month? Are there any obstacles, any blocks, any challenges in October? Sorry, my deck is upside down, obviously. There we go. I don't read reversals. I think it's, when people, like 9 out of 10 of their cards are upside down or reversed, and they're like, oh, everything's in reverse. Like, your deck was just upside down. The 7 of Cups. Okay. So you're starting to feel grounded, but you're also maybe getting swept away in fantasy a little bit. Or you're spending too much time thinking or fantasizing when you need to act. It's like you make a decision and then you're like, wait, what were the other options? And then by the time you look at all the other options, you've missed the deadline, right? You know what I mean? So there's this like fantasy element that is actually holding you back this month. The 7 of Cups can also indicate pollution in your environment, pollution in your life. It could be too much sugar, too much caffeine, too unhealthy things, too much alcohol, too much marijuana, too much that is clouding your perception, clouding your ability to make the right choices. Looking also at when you're most vulnerable. Like, when do you make these choices that get you in trouble, so to speak? Like, do you have a glass of wine and you order something online, and then the next day you're like, oh, I didn't need to do that, type thing, just as an example. So what in your life is causing chaos, causing pollution, so to speak, or clouding your view? Like, you can't see something clearly. You might be led astray by somebody who continues to like distract you. Like, right when you're getting to a really good point in your argument, they distract you. They're really good at smoke and mirrors. They're kind of like a bad magician. They are deceiving you. They know how to distract you. They know how to, it's almost like bare minimum in relationships where it's like, oh, I know how to shut them up. I'll just, give them a little treat or give them, I know it sounds very condescending and gross, but that is the dynamic sometimes. And, looking at these cards, I feel like there is maybe someone out there who's dealing with that. So you really want to keep your wits about you, right? Again, you're making this vow to yourself to do things differently in many different ways. I think you're going to start to see how empowered you feel and how much opens up to you when you're more disciplined. You might actually feel more free being more disciplined. Okay, what is your greatest asset, your strength? What is supporting you? The King of Cups. The new version of you, the healed version of you. The part of you that no longer gives in to those indulgences, the part of you that doesn't give in to temptation anymore, just says, no, I don't need that. I have everything I need. And it is quite empowering. I mean, I work in a place where, admittedly, I did get this little Salem there, but there's constantly new stuff coming in. It's all wonderful. It's all great. And I've just accepted that there's always going to be something I like, something I want, something I covet. But maybe that's just a highlight of my work day is interacting with that stock. I don't need to bring it home. Like, I don't need to pay for it and bring it home. So this temptation, let's say, that I'm constantly faced with, it actually feels really good to be surrounded by so much temptation and to say, I don't need any of this. And, shopping habits generally, love habits generally, again, resources that you have, that we see in that Six of Pentacles and that Six of Cups. Your energy, your love, your health, your money, your focus. You are in control of it. You're healed. Something that used to feel maybe like an addiction, that was an addiction, used to get the better of you. Your greatest strength this month is not being affected by it. You're healed. You're healed as the King of Cups. Everything that came before you, it's behind you. It's done. That you'd become, it's like you don't recognize them anymore. It's different. You're different. You're healed. You're feeling good. You're making better choices. And you know this because you're able to be faced with something and to say no, or to just answer differently. Your intuition is very strong as well. And the best way, I find that intuition kind of always comes out like an offhand comment. And it's bang on, like that's exactly the truth. And it's just this like offhand comment or this little whisper that comes up from your stomach. But the right decision will give you peace. You won't feel, even if something, if you have to, when you have to make a really difficult decision, and you still have that like dreadful feeling, and you go, is this my intuition or is this just anxiety? Your intuition doesn't create more of that anxious feeling. You might dread what that decision means and the changes you have to make, but your intuition feels peaceful. And as you sleep on it, as you keep coming back to this question, you still have the same answer. That's the King of Cups. I do feel like therapy could really help some of you, an advisor, someone who might be helping you through, coaching you, helping you, but just generally making different choices, I think. Okay, career and money for Capricorn. Career and money. Ace of Cups. Ace of Swords. Starting completely fresh. And feeling quite responsible, dutiful, purposeful, like you're being sworn into something and you get this beautiful fresh start. I heard clean bill of health, clear head. Maybe this new position has been the change you needed to those other lifestyle things. It all works together. So the Ace of Swords in career and money. Some of you could, I don't know, maybe you're signing some kind of contract, but it just feels like you're agreeing to something. You're signing paperwork. You're saying, yes, I will do this. You're undertaking to accomplish some goal or a mission or a task. You feel empowered. You feel clear on what that purpose, that goal is, but also your own mission statement, right? Your own reason for doing what you do. Like, I took on the second job because I want to give my child the best possible life. And so even though I'm away from home right now, maybe the partner's there with them, their other parent is there. And so I don't know, is there something about sacrifice or just doing what needs to be done because it's the right thing to do? I feel like energetically also in money and career, you're severing yourself from the past, severing yourself, cutting yourself free from karmic ties. It's like, I just keep feeling that, like you're paying off debt. You're paying off something that just really, gnawed at you over time, or it just sat there. And it's like, all right, I'm done. I'm clear. I have overcome my obstacles. And I have finally found something that I'm really good at. My communication is clear. I'm able to handle this. So career and money look very positive this month. And as we talked about in the beginning, there's a whole balancing thing going on. Okay, and now let's look at love. Capricorn. The Nine of Pentacles. Some of you could be choosing the single life. You've got everything you need, everything you want. All the rewards of all that hard work and that discipline are yours to enjoy. If you're in a relationship, you're being treated really well. You're treating them really well. There's this level of elegance and refinement, enjoying the beautiful things in life because you can. I think you're feeling treated well, or again, because we saw, like, maybe some of you are single, right? Nine of Pentacles is typically a single person. Could be an entrepreneur, maybe some of you starting your own business with your partner, maybe. But because we saw that challenge in the very beginning as the main theme, it's like energetically, what am I giving to? What did I used to feel tied to? Did I feel like I had to keep saying yes to be accepted, or to have this like false sense of security? Now you have real security. Whether you're single or in a relationship, maybe you're just loving yourself. But you should always love yourself, whether you have someone or not. Enjoying nice things, enjoying some time out or time in the garden, time to enjoy. And to me, that speaks of luxury, because it speaks of having the free time and the relaxed nervous system and the relaxed mind, the relaxed heart, to be able to be present, to be able to truly enjoy. And some of you think, if you're single, it's like, there's no way I could risk letting go of this for you. Sorry, I just can't risk it. I've worked so hard, I've achieved so much. And I really hope that those of you who are in relationship are being treated so beautifully. And that you feel like a king or a queen, or you just feel respected and appreciated and celebrated. Some of you are attracting someone this month because you're in such a good place. The universe is sending you someone who is on that same level. So that's the really beautiful thing about the Nine of Pentacles in love, is that if you do meet somebody, they're going to be on the same page. So if there is someone that shows up from the past and it feels, you're like, oh, I've been there, done that, or I already know how this is going to go. Like, I feel like, the pattern's there. I think you know how something's going to go. You say no to it, you keep the space open, and then the universe sends you someone who's actually on your level now. Because this attracts the type of people that, they want something from you. That's why this has been a test. It's because you have so much to give. The universe keeps sending you people who can only take. So you're going to stop that cycle, and you're only accepting someone who's giving equal to what you give. All right, so Capricorn, that has been your reading for the month of October. I hope it's been helpful. I hope you have a wonderful month ahead. A lot of internal and external changes are taking place for the better. So I love to see this for you. And I would love to read your cards also. If you want a personal reading with me, again, information is in the description box. Happy October, happy Hallows Eve, and I will see you soon.